Today I'm going to reveal the 7 shocking truths every parent of high conflict divorce and kids cope with in a system that includes children and 2 parents who absolutely despise each other. My name is Nancy Duarte, and I am a former family therapist with over 23 years of experience in this field. I was one of those parents, and my 3 girls were faced with a barrage of words, events, and thoughts that they were not prepared to deal with in a healthy way. This was me before, when I couldn't stop feeling accused, betrayed, and a sense of personal assault. But now I have put an end to being resentful and feeling guilty, and I'm beginning to feel good and a sense of peace about my parenting. While it's easy to be hard on yourself and look for ways to speed up the healing process, there are reasons why children suffer a great deal when parents are at each other's throats. For me, my experiences often left me feeling like I was in a constant war with my other co-parent. And I have learned that you often can't move on with your life when your co-parent continues to make you feel from bad to worse when making wounding statements like, "You always put yourself first, and I'm sure you don't care about the children." If you continue to say, "You spend too much time turning the children against me." If you continue to shout out to your co-parent and say, "You call the children too much when they're on my time. You're trying to control them and me." When you have unrealistic expectations about forgiving your co-parent. If you continue to dredge up an issue about the past. If you continue to treat as if you crushed your opponent and you are in a full combat mode. If your brain is still figuring out how to fix the other co-parent. How can you fix those problems? Let me help you. I have just the solution. In this webinar, you're going to learn how not to let 10 years go by while you are stuck in your past high conflict divorce and stop despising your co-parent. That's right, I'm going to show you how to agree that the hatred you have towards each other is adversely affecting your children. That no character attacks are helping, such as not interrupting the other person when they are talking, no disrespectful speech, no raised voices, and no blaming. Expect that this will be a very difficult process where you need to be continually self-aware and intentful while keeping the needs of your children first. All I ask in return is that you provide me with your name and email to continue watching. But why is it that no matter what, co-parenting is stressing you out? They have an exaggerated sense of self-importance towards you. They have a sense of entitlement and requiring constant favors or bending the rules on your co-parenting agreement by changing dates, weekends, always to their convenience. Expect to be recognized as superior to you, even without parental achievements that warrant it. Exaggerate their achievements and talents and boast about their parenting skills and make you feel as a worthless parent. They are preoccupied with fantasies of success, power, beauty, brilliance, or having the perfect relationship with the children. Monopolizing conversations and making you feel you are a bad parent. They belittle you or look down on you, and they perceive you or are inferior, and you're incapable of taking care of your kids. They expect special treatment and unquestioning compliance with your expectations. They take advantage of you to get what they want. They have an inability of unwillingness to recognize the needs and feelings of you or your kids. They are envious of you and believe you envy them. They behave in an arrogant or haughty manner, coming across as conceited, boastful, or pretentious. They insist on having the best of everything, the best car or office, job or house, and parenting skills. Oh, I know this all too well. You can trust me on this one. I've been there. They can make you feel as though you are a stuffy parent thanks to their spontaneity and risk-taking nature. Hi, I'm Nancy Duarte. I am a former family therapist turned divorce coach. I have been a therapist in private practice for over 23 years and have spent many hours working with children who have experienced high conflict divorced parents. Abuse was my story. My co-parenting relationship was high on conflict after I endured 3 years of court battles, and I found the strength to alter my co-parenting method because I couldn't live with the idea that I was contributing to the emotional damage of my 3 daughters. Being raised by a toxic parent gave my girls the belief they were not good enough. He saw himself as an extension of his girls, and they became his source of self-esteem. My girls began to fit into the mold he created for them, and it led them to anxiety, and they would constantly push aside their own personality to please him. Toxic parents aren't always cruel. They can very often be kind, but this kindness almost always comes with conditions. They often come to understand that their father's kindness led them to feeling beholden to him. If I do this for you, you owe me. Always comes with acts of kindness. Kindness and love are conditional. That is why I have made it my passion to help co-parents of a high conflict divorce. Children deserve the highest quality of childhood. Young children can't just get up and leave their family, so they nurture hope by sacrificing their own self-esteem and blaming themselves. At this point, you may be asking yourself, do these people have the capacity to co-parent without the drama? It's a question often asked, but the answer is bewildering since it has no rational explanation. And like the innocent victim, you come to the conclusion to lose faith partially or completely in your own perception. Hesitating to explain your story to the courts, attorneys, therapists, teachers, and schools, and trying to expose them casts doubts on your own credibility and maybe even on your own sanity. These doubts of parenting become painful and convince you to keep your mouth shut. You can't seem to understand what motivates him to be such a horrible parent. In nearly every case, they will become controlling, manipulative, and abusive in a relationship with you and your children. They'll enjoy making you feel bad about yourself as a parent and ruin your parent esteem. These parents don't feel remorse. They're certainly not going to feel bad about what they're doing to their children. Little did you know that your co-parent already identified you as a good game piece and an easy target. They make it their business to know how they could manipulate you and your kids. To this end, they chose you as their pawn, and you were easily sucked in because your children are your weakness, and you will do whatever it takes to protect them. They know how to hide their tracks well, and if you make one single mistake, it becomes dangerous for your children. Many times your kids keep quiet because the toxic co-parent will have them pay a price for it. But wait a minute, this is only one aspect of their game. The moment you try to expose their behavior, they will manipulate you once again, only to deceive you through their acting skills, because all they know how to do well is to lie and deceive you. It becomes an illusion and a web of deceit between them, you, and your children. They now invalidate you and isolate you until you become their perfect victim, and you can't seem to get off their roller coaster ride because the perfect victim allows for the perfect chase. They are not direct in their parenting early on. They will not risk stirring up a resistance that will never be lowered. They seduce you at an angle, indirectly through your child's heart. They move from a good parent to a bad parent. They are proficient at acting as if they were employed by Hollywood. They draw you closer and make you hungry to manipulate you and your children one more time. It will become a point of vanity for them to be the preferred object of your attention, to win you away from your kids. A perfectly satisfied person cannot be seduced, so they create tension and disharmony to instill themselves in your mind. They stir within you feelings of discontent and unhappiness with your circumstances and yourself. They make you feel inadequate to make them see you as the answer to their problems. One minute, you may have felt like things are going better in your co-parenting relationship, and in a matter of seconds, you're left wondering what on earth went wrong. But when they are done using you or your children, they have no difficulty casting you or your kids aside like a worn-out shoe. There is no apology or remorse, regardless of how long your relationship was. And watch out, if they are nice to you, it will be because they realize they can still get something from you. No matter what you do, you can't get rid of them because they are the parent to your children. They use their children as pawns to get back at you in an effort to prove their dominance. As the serpent tempted Eve with the promise of forbidden knowledge, they awakened to a desire that cannot be controlled by their targets. They found your weaknesses, that fantasy that has yet to be realized, and a hint that they can lead you toward it. They have always known how to keep it vague. They have known how to stimulate a curiosity stronger than the doubts and anxieties that go with it, and you will follow through. How do you stop them from co-parenting so evil? The moment you know what is expected from them. Taking your co-parenting power back. Keeping the upper hand by creating suspense, a calculated surprise. Doing something they do not expect from you will give them a delightful sense of shock. They will not be able to foresee what comes next. Always staying one step ahead and in control, giving the victim a thrill with a sudden change of direction. The use of children as pawns in an ugly war between parents is a common issue that family law attorneys deal with. Either their own clients engage in it, or the other parent is playing emotional games with children to seek revenge for a divorce or ending a relationship. Ever crossed paths with someone with a toxic parent personality? I'm sure you have. Tag, you're it. Toxic torment, also known as gaslight, is a form of manipulation. They use it against you. Finally, they utilize positive and negative emotions or moments to trick you and their children. When a narcissist can't control you, they likely feel threatened, react with anger, and they might even start threatening you. This is not a surprising concern. It's a pressing issue not only for those who have endured a toxic co-parent relationship, but also for those who experienced it. A toxic parent will often abuse the normal parental role of guiding their children and being the primary decision maker in the child's life, becoming overly possessive and controlling. This possessiveness and excessive control disempowers the child. Unfortunately, it is quite common when a toxic parent uses parental alienation syndrome, or PAS card, which occurs when a parent manipulates a child into refusing to have a relationship with their other parent. Toxic parents often do this during a divorce or custody battle by providing the child with false or exaggerated information. A child with signs of parental alienation may display the following behavior. The child is full of hatred towards the targeted parent and may deny any positive experiences in the past. The child does not have factual or logical reasoning for their hostility toward the targeted parent. The child perceives one parent, generally the narcissistic one, as perfect, while the other parent is perceived as flawed. A child who has been alienated may not display any guilt for their rude or hostile behavior toward one parent. In cases of parental conflict, an alienated child is more likely to side with the alienating parent without feeling the need to understand the other parent's point of view. The child internalizes the belief that they are the problem. If I was better at this or that, then my parents would love me more. The parent's own belief that they are the perfect parent only compounds this belief, as they believe that any resistance or negativity that they experience from the child is the child's fault. Unfortunately, if this is going on in your home, you are a victim of PAS and toxic parenting. They reflect on your insecurities, self-doubts, tendency to overgive, and feelings of unworthiness. However, once you learn the very loud lessons of these types of toxic relationships, you can become a better parent and heal to a depth you may not have known existed. After a toxic relationship, toxic co-parenting occurs. It is difficult to pick up all of the pieces. A broken heart and extreme fatigue almost always accompany a toxic co-parenting relationship. It is even more difficult to co-parent a child with someone who is antagonistic to you. Now, this course will guide you in the right direction as you pursue real conflict resolution. As much as you hate conflict, it becomes more difficult when the other parent is a toxic parent. You must find a way to parent your children despite their behavior to you. You must overcome feelings of hurt and hatred and be present for your children. At present, these people are incurable, or rather almost never to be cured. This is probably the most difficult to accept. In this course, you'll be able to explore how to deal with a hostile co-parent. It is crucial that you take care of your physical and mental well-being. Learn all the tricks that your toxic partner used to manipulate you in the past, to ensure you that you do not allow the same tactics to work on you this time. Accept your weaknesses. Your co-parent is most likely to use your weaknesses against you. I will work with you on a plan to overcome these weaknesses, and I will help you focus on your strengths so you can build muscle when you are up against a toxic parent. You will be able to overcome acceptance, transform your emotional pain, free yourself from negative thinking and self-judgment, and live a co-parent life you enjoy and value. This course will show you how to identify your co-parent tactics and show you how to navigate and potentially end the cycle of arguments. Release ties and cords and accept your pain to rid yourself of your emotional suffering. Start parenting freely without guilt or shame. Permanently release patterns that do not serve you. Embrace parenting empowerment and self-confidence so your children can really feel you are present in their lives. Learn to accept and move forward with brand new parenting skills. How to resolve conflict with your toxic co-parent. How they hook you into anger if you choose to take the bait. Become aware of the situations that have hooked you in the past. Staying calm, cool, and collected to be more in control and set a good example for your kids. In addition, you will be able to continue to keep self-control and serenity, and they can no longer make you mad. Who should take this course? Anyone who feels their child deserves the highest standard of parenting. Want to provide their children a loving, positive, supportive home environment that helps their children and encourage independence. And knowing the importance of co-parenting relationship that will dramatically affect their kids if there's conflict among the parents. Get ready to break free of toxic co-parenting. The main focus of this program is the fact that you are a parent forever. Even though you are no longer parenting together, you will remain in each other's lives for as long as you both have children. Stay strong, stay child-focused, move forward. Let's get you started. Let me rewind for a second so you fully understand what happened. Making wounded statements. One of the common risk factors, which is difficult to reestablish, is the ability of not making statements like, "You always put yourself first, and I'm sure you don't care about the children." If you continue to say, "You spend too much time turning the children against me." If you continue to shout out at your ex and say, "You call the children too much when they are my time. You are trying to control them and me." Unrealistic expectations. When you have unrealistic expectations about forgiving your co-parent. Bringing up the past. If you continue to dredge up an issue about the past. Crush your co-parent. Treat your ex like if you crushed your opponent and you are in a full combat mode. Agony. Your brain is still figuring out how to fix the other co-parent. If you're fresh out of the relationship that ended badly, it can feel like co-parenting revamps all over again. A major part of a co-parent toxic relationship is an example of something that is difficult to detect from inside a co-parenting relationship. This is due to the constant manipulation at the hands of a toxic co-parent. They will alternate manipulation as a positive experience, which will strengthen, making it more and more difficult for you to recognize and, even worse, your children. It is their tactic to condition you and your children to continuously forgive them so that it can be nearly impossible to lose, causing you to feel stuck and frustrated. Recognizing the flags and protecting yourself from these toxic patterns can safely move you forward. What's inside this course? You'll unlock training videos, resources, and worksheets in your course. Storytelling videos, worksheets, time-saving tools, move at your own pace, call to action on each assignment, personalized learning. Plus, jump on live group coaching with Nancy Duarte once a week for 30 days. And support from Nancy Duarte. Bonus 1. Group session for 30 days. Group coaching where the focus is on deepening awareness and planning and charting your co-parenting skills. You'll also learn to develop goals and identify the action steps to move forward. Bonus 2. Free workshop. Participants will gain new knowledge and a roadmap to parenting kids of divorce, allowing them to practice new skills and abilities with feedback from Nancy, the divorce coach. Bonus 3. Facebook support group. A private Facebook support group where the goal is to share your co-parenting stories, experiences, and resources. Book a call with me to make sure this course is the right fit for you. Thank you.